Gaia Ma, bringing you another lovely story that was given to me by the great Creator. I would love to share it with you. Are you ready? Okay, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. This is a story about a sad little seed. One day there was a wayfarer walking down through a beautiful valley, undeveloped, unoccupied, green grasses, and he had a little bag of seeds over his shoulder. He stopped by the roadside to take a little break, and his bag tipped over and spilled out a handful of seeds. Well, he gathered up as much as he possibly could, but he left behind one little seed. Well, he went on his way, and a birdie came by and sat down by the seed, and the birdie said, "What's your story?" And the little seed said, "Oh, I'm a sad, sad little seed. My master had me and my brothers and sisters in a bag, and when he set it down, it spilled out, and he picked everybody up except for me, and he left me behind. I'm so sad." Well, the little birdie looked around and thought about it for a minute, and then he pooped on the seed and flew off. Well, the moisture from that excrement began to stimulate the seed, and a little sprout came out, and a little root went down, and next thing you know, that seed began to grow and grow and grow and grow and become a tree. Well, one day, another wayfarer was strolling by. He was very hot. He looked at the tree. He said, "I think I'll just sit under that tree for a little bit and take some rest." So the wayfarer sat up against the tree, and then he said, "What's your story?" And the tree said, "Oh, I'm sad little seed. My master spilled me out of his bag, and he picked everybody up except for me and left me behind." The wayfarer looked at the tree and he went, "Oh, well, I think I'll build myself a little shanty shack right here, and I'll keep you company." And the little tree said, "Oh, that's nice." So time went on, and the wayfarer was out under his tree, whittling away on his little crafty works, and he thought to himself, "Gee, I'm awfully hungry now." And then all of a sudden a breeze started blowing, and kerplunk! Something hit him right on top of the head and rolled onto the ground in front of him. He picked it up, and he said, "What's this beautiful, shiny, green piece of fruit?" He bit into it, and all the juices came out, and he said, "Wow, that is one nice apple." So he began to share these apples that were coming off of this tree. And the friends of his would come by and say, "Can we have some more of those apples? They're the best apples we've ever tasted." So then, as time went on, a big group came into the village, and they started building this big wall right on the other side of the apple tree. And the little man said to his neighbor, "What's going on?" And the neighbor said, "Don't you know? The king and queen are coming to this village. They're going to build themselves a country getaway palace, and they're going to build it right here, right next door to you." Well, the little man thought, "Oh, okay, that should be good for business." So then time went on, and the queen requested to her chef, "I love apple pie. In my travels to the Netherlands, I had the most delicious apple pie, and I would like you to go out to the village, find me the best apples that make the best apple pie. I want you to bake me a pie." So the chef set off, and he went knocking door to door and village to village, And they said, don't you know? The best apples are growing right behind, on the other side of the wall of the palace, in that little man's yard. Go ask him. He'll give them to you. He gives apples to everybody. So the chef went, knocked on the door. He said, kind sir, I have a request from the queen to have the finest apple pie, and I understand that you have the finest apples in the village. And the little man said, well, that's not my apple tree. That was there before I even got here. You're welcome to take all you want. So the chef gathered up a bushel of apples and brought it into the kitchen alongside a basket of strawberries. He set them on the counter, went off to prepare. And the basket of strawberries looked at the basket of beautiful green apples. He said, what's your story? What'd you do to get here? And the apples said, oh, I'm a sad little seed. My master was walking down the road and he set this bag of seeds down with me and my brothers in it, and it spilled out, and he gathered all my brothers and sisters back up except for me. He left me behind. The strawberry looks at the apples and he shrugged his shoulder like, whatever. And then the chef came back in and he started peeling the apples and slicing them up and coating them with delicious cinnamon sugar. And he put them in the pie pan with the pie crust over it. And he put the pie in the oven and he baked the pie until all the juices were bubbling out and over. And he brought the pie out and he said, certainly the queen is going to love this apple pie. And he put the apple pie on a beautifully highly polished silver tray and all the little strawberry tarts around, and he brought this into the dining hall. And a little kitty cat came sauntering by. And she looked at this beautiful display of desserts and the apple pie glistening. And she said, what did you do to deserve to be here in the queen's palace? And the apple pie said, oh, I'm a sad little seed. And one day my master was walking down the road and he dumped me out and left me behind. And the little kitty cat looked around and said, what the heck are you talking about? You don't look anything like a seed. Don't you know where you are? You're in the queen's palace. You are the most gorgeous, delectable apple pie I've ever seen. And she is going to consume you. You are going to give the queen and the king great joy. And she is going to be so happy. She's going to sing your praises. What is wrong with you? What do you mean? You're a little seed. Why don't you look in the mirror, get a grip on reality? And the little seed thought for a moment. And he said, you know, I think I've missed out on something here. All this time, I have been identifying with that one little identity of who I was way back when I was just a little seed, and I haven't even acknowledged all the other ever unfolding manifestations of my existence and my life, and that nice man that used to keep me company, and the birdies that used to sit on my tree, and those beautiful blossoms that used to happen to me. There's so much more that I could have been telling people about, but I chose to hold on to that identity of the one little seed that was left behind. Well, I guess that kitty cat is right. It's time for me to acknowledge where I am and what events have brought me here to be inside the Queen's palace. And I'm ready to give delight to the Queen. She's going to consume me. And that is the ultimate goal of any existence that I could ever ask for. And so, on that note, this is Gaia Ma giving you this one little story that was given to me to share with you. That we are always ever unfolding a new identity, a new expression, a new way to serve and give and bring delight to our fellow man. Thank you for joining me and sharing this story. Hari Om Tat Sat Om.